Okay, we're back on the disc brakes for the 63 Super Sport Impala. Gotta say, it's been, oh my gosh, just tedious having to back and forth, back and forth. And I will say, though, these CPP brakes, beautiful and amazing. My recommendation, you go with big brakes in the front, meaning 2 pistons on each side, and then the smaller brakes in the back, which is 1 piston on each side. Okay, and I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to go through some details you might not know, you might figure out. This is going to help you out tremendously, right? So as you know, with drum brakes, you get 1 line essentially, and if you got a leak or something happens, then your whole brake system goes, you're shit out of luck. So in this case here, when you upgrade, you get 2 proportioning valves. One, this is for the back, this is for the front brakes, right? And here's your proportioning valve that does that. This covers this, pretty slick. Now, if you don't know much about this proportioning valve, I would highly suggest you get to learn a little bit about it. There's a lot of videos out there online, and you will get to understand why it's so important. But it's at the same time, you're gonna be pissed off as to why you can't figure out why your fronts aren't bleeding or your backs aren't bleeding. And I'm gonna show you why. So for those that know, great, you know, you can skip this video and take a look at what I've been doing. But for those that need this, this is gonna help you out tremendously. Number 1, and this goes for any system you're doing, do not allow for this to get dry when you're bleeding your brakes, right? Make sure you bleed this system with the kit that they give you first. So for me personally, I wouldn't do it on a bench. I don't care for that shit. I put it in, use the little plastic tubes they give you to pump in the oil back, put the oil back in, fill it up, start bleeding it, you know, do it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it till you get those air bubbles out, and then get your lines. As you know, do not tighten these all the way tight. Put them in, put these in, put this in, put this in. This guy can be loose, right? Because that's where you bolt that guy to that, this whole thing to this, and right here as well. And once you got everything kind of snugged and know that it's not gonna strip the threads, then start tightening, right? Now, that's if you've done that step. Now you're putting this in. When you go to bleed your brakes, do not let the rears dry up, the reservoir, or the fronts dry up, this reservoir. Because if you do, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And what I mean is by this guy right here. So this guy in here, there's this thing that goes through. I don't know the technical word. It goes all the way through. And when this senses that this is bone dry, this kicks in, shuts off the rears, and only allows fluid to the fronts. Vice versa, right? Does the same thing for the other. It's a bitch to take this out and try to have to move it and balance it, make it sit right. So just know, you'll be able to see looking down. If you want to do it from here, you got to push and move this over, or push and move it over here. The other way you can do it is disconnect this line, open this up, and push it from here until you see it move and balance in the middle. You got it? All right, leave this alone. Leave this alone. Do not fuck with these 2 here. But if you can't figure it out from here, then I highly suggest you disconnect it, take it to your bench, and look inside with something, to a magnifier or whatever, to make sure you can balance it in the middle. That right there is going to save you guys a shit ton of frustration. If you don't do that, you're going to be frustrated why your brakes are not bleeding. Now, these brakes here are the 2 piston. You can see the bleeder right about back there. I'll try to get in here. That's the top bleeder. And guess what? There's a bottom bleeder. Leave the bottom bleeder alone. Do not mess with it. These brakes, you bleed from the top. Bleed the top bleeder. So for those that have done brakes and bled brakes forever, like I have since I was 16 years old, and that goes back like 30 plus years. You start with the back passenger, back driver. See how old I'm getting? And then the passenger back, the passenger front, and last but not least, driver front. So once you got buttoned up, remember, don't tighten those guys way too tight. You should not need Teflon tape on this. Some of you guys are like, oh yeah, but I'd rather be, no. These are engineered to fit in there nicely. If you do it right, you do not need Teflon tape. You just need to have that patience and that touch to know that you've tightened it tight enough. Now, what I will say is I kept bleeding from here, from some crazy reason. I thought I tightened it, didn't tighten it. Tightened it some more, pumped the brakes, tightened it some more, pumped the brakes, and it finally got tight where it wasn't leaking. So great, that's what I did there. Let's see here. Now, that is the brake system. I do hope that helps you. And what I will say, if you did this right, your brake pedal is gonna feel hard when it's not running, and that's what you want. You want it to feel hard, barely moving down. If it keeps moving down halfway, then you got to start all over. And if you have to bleed your brakes twice, I recommend it, because what happened to me was I bled them thinking I got them all great, and I had to come back and I did it all over again. Went back corner, this front corner, and finally came here. Lots of air came out on this front driver's side. And so then I buttoned everything up, left, and brakes were beautifully, amazingly. So I'm gonna shift gears here, no pun intended, to my accelerator and my pedal here. So for the longest time, the rod here was a little short. I'd say about half an inch, just enough for me to notice it wasn't kicking in here, right? It wasn't opening up all full throttle. So I added this new one here. It gave me that half inch extra, and I was able to put this right here. Now the pedal there, I might be able to get another half inch, but it's gonna mess with that piece right there. So I'm gonna figure this out and try to get some more out of it. But if you're trying to figure out the angle, maybe you're not too sure where you're at with this, you gotta figure that out. So take a look and adjust it. I don't like the spring setup for that. That's why I'd rather do this rod setup that I have. But I will do a spring here, so. Other than that, this engine's been phenomenal for a small block 350. I know I had some battery issues I might have talked to you guys about, some parasite. I really think I figured it all out by doing the rewiring of the single wire alternator and bypassing this old school regulator, because I got a lot of other stuff going on, plus inside the car, that this battery. So I used to buy that, and maybe you saw it in some of my videos, that gel looking battery. I don't know, I think that thing's a piece of crap. So I went with this $110, $120 battery. This thing's phenomenal. It's been running phenomenal. I love it. So not messing with that anymore. Now we're gonna go to the bottom here to take a look at take a look. Well, that It looks like that might be a brake leak over there. Better not be. But anyways, my ball joints. You can zoom in if you want. The ball joints there, that ball joint there, the rod that I just put in, they were pretty effed up. Did that on this side, did that on that side as well too. You can zoom in if you want on that one. Just did the ball joint, didn't do the tire rod. The inner one, or the sleeve. I just did the outer there. But I tell you what, the ride now, it's really nice. I'm gonna take it in to have them align, because I can kind of see here how maybe it's not riding the way it should. And I'll have them align it. But I will say, at 25 miles an hour, without touching the steering wheel, the Impala was driving very straight, which was really nice. I loved it. You can see the 2 piston on the brakes. They're dirty, but that's from bleeding, testing, and there was a leak in here somewhere, throwing shit everywhere. But I think I got it now, finally. So, but I think that's about it of where I'm at with this. Hope this was helpful, because as you know, it can get very frustrating when you're trying to figure out, can't seem to bleed the brakes and you're bleeding them wrong maybe, especially with these CPP big brakes on front and this massive looking system here. I went with this booster so that I can have clearance, as you can tell with my steering wheel shaft, that I'll get some light over here. It doesn't mess with it. And then it doesn't mess with the pump here for the wiper motor. Look at that. It's like perfect clearance for that guy. I would highly recommend that one there. All right, well, that's enough. If you have any questions, if you want to see a video or have me redo a video or talk through any of these things that I've done on here, let me know. More than happy to do that for you and see where I can help. I'll show you the back ones here before I sign off. You'll see how much smaller they are. One piston. And these back here, they, that's the setup there. They are one bleeder screw, which is good. That's the setup there. If you're doing this, I would also recommend that you have your axles redone. Highly recommend that you do that. So, and here's number one thing, and I'm going to show you guys the brake pads. I thought I was done, but I better. That's very important. So these studs here, these are new studs to fit these wheels and these disc brakes. The studs that you have right now are small. I've done it on another video. I've given the stud part number, so look for that video. This fits this shit perfectly. Gotta clean this up. So, other than that, this setup is really nice. And look how this sits in the front. All right, so I'm gonna take you over now and show you the brakes of what you gotta get, because CPP will sell you or give you high performance brakes. They will give you, don't get me wrong, your preference. If you want to keep cleaning your rims all the time because you get brake dust and all this bullshit from these high performance brakes, feel free, go at it. But I don't like that shit. And so if you want brakes that don't do that, these are the back brakes. So if you want to take that part number there, and these are the front brakes. If you want to take that there and hunt these down. These came off of like a 2000 Chevy Silverado, and I forgot what these came off of, but this part number, you can research it and you'll be able to, I think that says Corvette, or someone didn't know how to spell. Maybe that's Everett? Feveret? I don't know. Okay, so that's it. That's what I recommend. You should go with these brakes and not go with the other brakes that they have, that they recommend, because I guarantee you're gonna have so much brake dust. It is unbelievable. It is crazy. And now that I've been driving the Impala, look at that, no brake dust. So I highly recommend it. I'd swap those brakes in a heartbeat. If I knew that from the beginning, it would have been something I would have done a long time ago. So it's gonna save you time, it's gonna save you frustration, it's gonna make you think that you put the brakes on wrong or something, or your caliper's not working right. But no, that's not the case. And the stopping power is still there. You just gotta bleed the brakes right. And I kid you not, this fucking thing stops. It's beautiful. All right, I hope this was helpful. I think this is gonna be one of my best videos of actually having something put in that was a lot of frustration, took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of patience. So for those that don't have patience, can't say much about it, but for those that do, you'll keep this car running versus the ones that don't, and then they sell them. So there you go. Have a good one. Let me know. There goes my hand. Jeez. All right, guys. My apologies for almost dropping the phone. Good catch, though. Bye.